Hey guys, Jess from Knockout Print Shop, and today I have for you the reveal of our 2020 Inkwell Press Coordinating colors. So every year we do our best to try to match the colors of the mission board of each month. So if you're an Inkwell Press planner, you know there's 4 palettes per year that get recycled 3 times. So we go through a process of kind of trying to match these. We don't get the codes from Inkwell Press, but we do try to match them as well as we can so we can offer you stickers that nicely coordinate with the muted colors of that year's planner. So every year there's always some colors in each palette that aren't great for stickers or just kind of give us too much of a monochrome look, and we like to give you guys some variety. So what we did this year after we polled you was about 50% of you said you only wanted 3 colors from the palette. A few of you said you wanted all 6 colors from the palette. And then most of you said you wanted us to throw in a few pops of color that complement it for some added variety. So let me start with palette number 1, which is called Summit. You can see this is a super nice muted kind of bluish gray and green palette. If you look at the 6 colors here, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the gray we always call the 6. So there's always a new-ish tone of gray. So you can see that this is basically black. This is a very dark gray. This would not make for a good sticker because you can't write on it unless you have like a white or silver pen. And I think most people don't want to go through that much effort of having a different pen. I know I don't, even though I do like white pens and metallic pens. I just want to be able to write in my planner. So we did not do this color. And this guy, we think we opted out of this one and went with this one instead. I'm like totally, probably not even no, did we? No, we didn't. We didn't do this one because it was a bit dark. So let me show you what we did do. Okay, so, and then basically too, oh my gosh, you can see all of this is our process of all this craziness. But basically what we do is we try to really get as close as we can to the daily box color. You can see this is ombre, so it doesn't maintain that same color saturation here as it does down here. But really your daily box color is the thing that it most importantly needs to coordinate with. So we take this color and we kind of go through this process of finding coordinating colors for it. So let me show you what we came up with for Summit. So this is our version of the Summit palette. So you can see on this sheet, and this is our new larger sheet of the Habit Tracker hexagons. We improved this year because one thing I didn't like about what we offered last year on the quarter sheet was that you didn't get 31 of each of the colors. So if you were filling out your habit tracker, you have to use multiple colors, which for someone like me that's like loves monochrome, I needed to have the same color on the whole habit. So there's 31 of each of these. Okay, so what we did is this gray you're gonna find in every sheet, every palette, it is the gray. Pretty close to this, we went a tad darker because this gray was fairly light and didn't really look great as a sticker. So this is your gray. This color is this one here. So it's this like cool bluish gray. Then we went with the green. So it's like a mid-tone, again, a cooler green. And then we went with the darker green. So you can see these are your 3 actual colors from this palette. So 1, 2, 3, and your gray. These are the 2 we opted against because again, this one's way too dark and we wanted to give you more variety. So what we did was we took the daily box color and we looked around at different color matching things to figure out what colors were really good complements to it. So we came up with this kind of, I don't know, like an orangey, yellowy gold, and then this reddish, kind of burnt orange. So I will say this palette looks very fall-ish. It's really hard to avoid getting a feeling when you're putting colors together, but this does feel fallish, even though you're going to be using it not always in the months of fall, the months that fall during the season of fall. Oh my gosh, how many times can I say fall? But these colors really did coordinate well when we put it through little, again, color coordinating things, software, that this was our 2 best matches. Other colors that came up were like purples and these really intense colors, but the problem was they didn't look good with the rest of these colors, and there already is purple in the palettes. Palette number 4 has purple in it. So we wanted to give you variety that was somewhat unique to each palette. So again, these 4 colors here, so the gray plus the 3 colors, these are actually the ones from the mission board. Then we added these 2 complementary for a pop of color. Again, we know it has a fall-ish kind of feel, but again, depending on which colors you use together on any particular week, you can make it more or less fall or holiday looking, but that's that one. So that is Summit. So that's your first palette. Then we go to February here. So February is called Oasis. So what we did, let me move that away, is this guy. So again, you have your same gray. Every single sheet will have gray. And then as far as this goes, we tried to use this main accent color of each palette on each of our coordinating palette. So you got this goldish color, and it actually is different from this one. This pulls more orange. This is a little more yellow. Again, there's only so many colors, guys, so we wanted to give you stuff that was, you know, as unique as possible. But again, there's a limit on how many colors there are. So we got this guy. We went with the darker here of the two greens. Again, this is fairly light. I know it doesn't look like it in a big hexagon, but when you start to get small to stickers, this is a little bit light. So we wanted to give you a little more color. So we went with the greenish color, and then I'm pretty sure it's this pink. So it's pink. This one's obviously a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Deeper. But here was the the problem with this one is either way, this color, since there's two here, and this is the daily box, when you lay this pink on top of it, we totally know this is not going to be ideal because it's almost going to blend in. But it really wouldn't have mattered with either pink that we gave you. So we opted for the lighter one just because, again, they're easier to write on and it wasn't super light. So we know this is not ideal, but we didn't want to give you double greens. So our other option would have been yellow, green, green. So we had to do a pink. It's just how it worked out without giving you colors that were basically the same. This is just a few shades lighter than this color. So then what we did for accent here is, again, we took the daily box color, so this pinky, I don't know if you call it salmon color, and two colors that it came up with coordinating with was this like very deep kind of berry color, I guess we could call it. And then this more vibrant blue. So you can see these are definitely can make this palette feel totally different when you start adding in these more vibrant colors. And they all pretty much coordinate together. Obviously there might be some you might not want to put these two together because this blue is pretty different than, you know, this green. But I mean, to each his own, whatever you think. But point being is they all coordinate with this main color here. So that is Oasis. Again, you have the three colors in the gray and then our two accent colors. So that's palette number 2. We go into palette number 3 here, which is called Canyon. You can see our little matchy things. So you here again, you don't have a lot of color variation. We have 2 shades of yellow. We have a light green and blue, and then this almost feels like similar to this guy. So here's what we did for this one. Okay, so we have your gray. We took the deeper, brighter of the 2 yellows, again, because it's gonna give you more color payoff. It's not gonna look as muted when you're in those smaller stickers. And then we went with the blue and the darker of the greens. That way you didn't have 2 light colors. I think that's how we did it. Sometimes it's hard to remember because some of these colors, the colors are so close, it's hard to know what we did. So gray, we got the yellow, this blue, and the darker green. So those are your 3, or 3 plus gray colors that come exactly from, and again, we don't know, they're not exact, but they're as close as we could get them to this to give you those coordinating colors. So then we go into your week to take a look at your daily boxes here, and we needed to match colors that went closely with this. So we have a different version of red. This is a brighter, less burnt, kind of more, it's an orangey red, but when I show you these all together, you see there's quite a bit of variation between each of the colors that we picked. And then we have this like grayish color. It's like a gray, I suck at describing colors, taupe, maybe? Dark taupe. So these, it's a little bit more neutral, but it really does work well with all the colors in this palette. And since it's such a neutral color, you have a lot of options there, whether, you know, which colors you want to use on any given week. So again, that's Canyon. And this was our, you know, interpretation of these 3 colors, as well as giving you a pop of color that coordinates with the daily boxes. So that's Canyon. All right, and then we go to last but not least, which is our Glacier, so our fourth palette, another one of our little, this is how we match. Oh shoot, you guys, oh shit. Okay, this is why I need to be more gentle. All right, so then we have Glacier. So Glacier is pretty cool because we have this like pop of a light cranberry color. It's not a intensely vibrant, bright purple, but it has a lot some nice color. You can see it here in the ampersand. So here's what we did for this one. So you have your gray. Okay, hold on, because I know I'm gonna screw this up. So we have this guy. So the darker of the two greenish colors, we have the darker of the two lime green, so this one, and then jump one over and you have magenta. And we just lay these out as aesthetically pleasing as they seem to look. The other sheets, it was the first four from right to left. This one we had to put this in the middle. It just looked weird if we put it over here. So again, you have your gray, then you have your deeper of the two green blues, your deeper of the two lime greens, and then you have your accent color magenta. So then we added on to that because again, we didn't want to give you a lighter version of the same colors. Like it just doesn't seem as useful. So that's why we did 3 colors from the palette plus 2 accent colors and gray. Okay, so let's go over here. So you got the kind of a variation of the lime green that's in the palette. So we matched this kind of muted pink. I don't even know if I guess it's pink. And then this bluish, grayish, I don't know, I just like it. It's like a muted turquoise with a little less vibrancy to it. I clearly don't have a job describing colors. So this is this palette. You can see these all will work really nicely with this lime green, but that's what you got. So you got this, and this one are from the palette, and then we added these two in to give you just a little bit more variation. The palettes this year were a little more fun to work with, but they were also difficult in some ways because the colors were a lot of them had just different, again, tones or shades of the same color, so we didn't have a lot of option there. And it's always hard because, yeah, you know, a lot of things might complement this color, but you don't see this color on the planner, so we always have to kind of find a way to coordinate with the daily boxes. So let me go over it one more time quickly. So you have, again, this is Glacier, and our kind of coordinating palette to Glacier. Then we go back to month 3, which is Canyon. So you can see this is our coordinating colors to Canyon. We added these two at the end. Then we go to Oasis. So again, these seem kind of intense, like they don't go with this palette, but you can look and see as you kind of put them next to each other, depending on which ones you put together, they do look kind of cool. So you have that one, and then let's see, last but not least, come on, Jess. We have Summit. So again, you can see if you were to cover this up, this is the Inkwells. These are our complementing colors. And at first glance, they don't look like, oh, they're like, what are you doing with these orange and stuff? But you can see once you get to my crazy page, they do go well with the daily box. This is kind of what we end up doing. We take little squares of them and print them out and lay them out together in a palette. I'm like, that looks really pretty, so I like that. Let me see if I can find the other ones that we did. So you can see, this is again how we kind of like hold it up as a full fanned out palette next to whatever color it is, so we can see. Sometimes it's easier to see them here like this and go, oh, that makes sense maybe why she picked it. So we hope you guys like it. Obviously we know not everybody's gonna like the colors we pick, so you can kind of see how that looks there. It's really hard to know, you know, what color people are gonna like, which ones do we use, and it's, you know, we do the best that we can, so we hope we give you guys a good variety. I'm trying to find a way to lay these just so you can see that even though you have red, you can see each one of these reds are very different. Even though there's some similarities between these bluish greens, they are different. The yellows, while they might look the same, are different. The gray is the same. So this gives you an idea of our interpretation of the 4 color palettes for the Inkwell Press 2020, as well as our complementary colors to it. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you do like some of the stuff we picked. At the end of the day, if you don't like everything or both of the colors, you do have the stuff that is actually, you know, the ones that Tanya created. All right, guys, so that's it. Let me know if you have questions, and I'll see you in the next one.